The summer of 1876 brought not only heat, but also rising tension to the Great Plains.
To the native peoples, this land was Pahasapa, the sacred Black Hills, their spiritual heart.
Beneath the pale moon, whispers of unease stirred within the Lakota's great camp near the Rosebud River.
Sitting Bull, the Hunkpapa Lakota's spiritual leader, sensed their approach like distant thunder.
Sitting Bull, the time has come. Our warriors are gathered, strong and ready to defend our lands against the white man. We must strike now!
Tribes united, a force unseen since the coming of disease from the white man. The discovery of gold in 1872 brought miners to the Black Hills, violating sacred treaties.
The U.S. government failed to control the incursion, sending troops to force the native tribes back to reservations.
Within the great camp, 8,000 souls stood together, a temporary city of hope and defiance.
Sitting Bull, a Wichashawakan, foresaw a great battle, bloodshed, and a victory shadowed by darkness. We fight not for reservation life, but for the freedom of our spirits on this sacred land.
On the opposing side, Lieutenant Colonel George Armstrong Custer, known for his golden locks, rode into destiny.
Custer, a man driven by glory, saw the campaign as his chance to make history. These savages don't understand surrender. We will crush them quickly.
News of a massive encampment was not a threat, but an invitation to Custer.
Days before the Little Bighorn, Custer's forces clashed with a smaller native group at Rosebud River.
The battle at Rosebud served as a grim warning, but only fueled Custer's arrogance.
Just skirmishes. The main camp is near. They are panicking.
Their numbers are far greater, George. You must be cautious.
Cautious. There are not enough Indians in the west to defeat the 7th. We ride.
Custer, driven by his ambition, split from the main force with the 7th Cavalry.
Custer's scouts reported finding traces of a large native movement heading to the Bighorn.
Custer saw it as a prophecy. He decided to approach at night, striking before dawn.
Meanwhile, at the great camp, Sitting Bull performed the sun dance, seeking victory.
Crazy Horse and other war leaders prepared their warriors, knowing the Americans would come.
Fight for your loved ones. Look the enemy in the eye. Scouts, led by Bear Dash, found signs of Custer's army. Their advance no longer hidden.
They are coming, but their numbers are not too great.
The chiefs decided to stand and fight, protecting their women and children.
We will fight to protect those we love. Trust your spirits.
June 25, 1876. Custer's 7th Cavalry moved toward the Little Bighorn.
We saw a huge camp, Captain. The size defies all expectations. Dismissed, gentlemen. We ride at first light. Surprise is our armor, and victory shall be swift and glorious.
Custer decided to divide his forces, splitting the 7th Cavalry into 3 groups.
Reno led his battalion across the river, ordered to attack the camp directly.
Benteen led his group on a wide flank to the south, searching for any fleeing natives.
Custer led his group north, planning to attack on the opposite flank.
Custer's plan was flawless on paper, but underestimated the unity of the native forces.
Renault's battalion entered the village and quickly realized the extent of their error. Crazy Horse and Gal led their warriors to face Renault's assault.
The battle was fierce, with brutal close quarters fighting on the outskirts of the village.
Fall back! Fall back! We can't hold them! They're everywhere! Move!
Renault ordered a retreat, and the situation quickly devolved into a disorganized rout. The retreat became a desperate flight towards the relative safety of high ground.
Hey, cover!
Machine gun up!
Watch those approaches. We hold this hill.
Renault's hill was surrounded and besieged by wave after wave of native warriors. Benteen's battalion found nothing on their flank, only signs of a hasty retreat.
Benteen saw smoke and received a message sent with desperate urgency from Custer.
Renault heavily engaged. Need reinforcements. Come quick! Benteen and his men marched toward the sound of gunfire, unsure what awaited them. Approaching Renault's hill, Benteen made the decision to reinforce the desperate defense.
Renault and Benteen's forces combined to form a chaotic defensive position on the hill.
Unaware of Renault's fate, Custer rode along the ridge, confident in his plan. Reaching the crest, Custer saw the true size of the camp, a sight that defied belief.
Instead of a small village, the valley was filled with warriors moving into position.
We have anticipated the attack, and we are prepared for Custer. Custer made a fateful decision. He would attack! Custer divided his forces again, sending Yates on a flanking maneuver to the west. Custer led the remaining men into the valley, towards the heart of the camp.
Dakota warriors formed a wall of resistance to meet Custer's advancing men.
The fighting on Custer Hill was desperate, a brutal and bloody struggle.
American soldiers fell, overwhelmed by the superior numbers of native warriors. The natives' superior firepower decimated the American ranks.
Custer fought on, knowing that the battle was lost.
The last American soldiers fell, the battle becoming a massacre.
Custer lay dead, his golden locks stained with the dust of defeat.
Renault and Benteen heard the sounds of desperate fighting, then silence, a silence more terrifying.
The surviving soldiers dug trenches, preparing for a night of unending fear.
Their faces were filled with fear and exhaustion, awaiting the unknown.
Throughout the night, native warriors attacked, but Renault and Benteen's men held. Dawn revealed that the siege had been lifted, but the cost was devastating.
Terry and his forces arrived, discovering the bodies of Custer and his men.
The mutilated bodies showed a savage vengeance, a sign of the depths of their rage.
Celebrations erupted in the great camp, rejoicing in the unprecedented victory.
However,
Sitting Bull knew the victory was temporary. The seeds of destruction were sown.
Crazy Horse knew the white man would return, stronger and more relentless than before.
Sitting Bull feared the white man's retribution, a price paid for their moment of freedom.
Washington declared total war on the native tribes, seeking retribution for Custer.
The great camp began to dissolve, warriors returning home after the great victory. The Cheyenne and Arapaho moved west, seeking to avoid the white man's wrath.
The Lakota split into smaller groups, hoping to evade the Army's relentless pursuit.
The Army launched a winter campaign, attacking villages during the brutal winter.
Crazy Horse followers grew weak under the constant pressure and lack of supplies.
Surrounded and starving, Crazy Horse surrendered at Fort Robinson, seeking peace.
Sitting Bull led his people to Canada, preferring starvation to humiliation.
After years of hardship and exile, Sitting Bull returned to the U.S., his spirit unbowed.
The Black Hills were legally seized by Congress, breaking the sacred treaties forever. The native tribes were forced onto reservations, living in poverty and despair.
Crazy Horse was murdered at Fort Robinson, betrayed by those he trusted.
Sitting Bull was killed while in custody, falsely accused of inciting rebellion.
The Little Bighorn battlefield, a somber memorial to both triumph and tragedy. Markers show where the soldiers fell, a reminder of the battle's devastating cost.
The Bighorn River flows silently through the valley, a witness to history.
The price for freedom would be the fight for survival.